All right, let's talk about that nagging pain. You know the one, that ache in your elbow, your shoulder, your knee, or your Achilles that just will not go away. If you're an active person, chances are you've been there. So today we're going to get to the bottom of why your tendons aren't healing and what you can actually do about it.
Oh yeah, you've heard this one before, right? It's that classic, no pain, no gain, push through it mentality. And I'm telling you right now, this mindset, this belief that you can just bully your body into healing is probably the single biggest reason why a little tweak turns into a year-long injury that completely derails your progress.
So if that sounds even a little bit like the voice in your head, you need to stick around. We're about to dive into the actual biology of how your body works, and I'm going to show you exactly why that tough it out approach is a one-way ticket to frustration and injury. It's time to learn how to train smarter. Okay, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and tackle this myth head-on. The idea that you can force a tendon to heal on your schedule, it's not just wrong, it is actively making things worse. And to understand why, we first got to understand what a tendon actually is.
So before we even talk about breaking them, let's just take a second to appreciate these things. Seriously, think of your tendons as your body's own set of high-performance biological super ropes. They are absolutely essential for pretty much every move you make.
So here's what that really means. When you flex your bicep to do a curl, your muscle contracts, right? But it's not the muscle itself yanking on your arm. No, it's the tendon, this incredibly strong cable that connects that muscle to the bone and transfers all that force to make your arm move. They are the essential middleman. And hey, people mix these up all the time, so let's get this straight real quick. Tendons connect muscle to bone. Ligaments, they connect bone to bone. Think about your ACL in your knee. And fascia connects muscles to each other. They're all connective tissues, but they have very different jobs. We're focused on tendons today. Now check this out because the structure is wild. It's kind of like that movie Inception, but with ropes. You have the main tendon, which is made up of big bundles. And those bundles are made of smaller bundles, which are made of even smaller bundles, all the way down to these tiny little collagen fibers. This rope within a rope design is what gives them their unbelievable strength. But here's the cool part. They're not just stiff cables. They're also elastic, almost like super strong springs. So when you land from a jump, your Achilles tendon stretches, storing all that impact energy. Then it snaps back, releasing that stored energy to help power your next movement. It's incredibly efficient.
Okay, so if they're so ridiculously strong and springy, how on earth do we manage to break them? Well, let's look at the process of how a healthy, happy tendon turns into a painful, injured one. In a perfect world, this is what the inside of your tendon looks like. See that? All those little collagen fibers we were talking about are lined up perfectly parallel like a brand new, perfectly woven steel cable. That alignment, that organization, is the secret to its strength. And this is what happens when things go wrong. It's a total mess. Instead of that neat, strong cable, you've got a tangled, disorganized bird's nest of fibers going every which way. That right there is a tendon injury. The structure that gave it strength is gone, so it just can't handle the load anymore. And this slide is the absolute core of the problem. A tendon injury is almost never a single pop. It's a war of attrition. It's you, slowly, day by day, causing tiny amounts of damage that are just a little bit faster than your body's ability to repair them. The damage just starts to outpace the healing until the whole system starts to fail. Okay, now you need to listen to this, because this one fact could literally change the way you train forever. Research has shown that when you're doing a specific exercise, your tendon cells pretty much stop responding after just 10 minutes. They get the signal to grow stronger, and then they're done. Any more work after that 10-minute mark isn't building you up, it's just breaking you down. Just think about that next time you do a 60-minute workout.
So you pushed it too far, you ignored the signs, and now you've got a painful, messy tendon. What now? Let's talk about the smart way to fix it using actual biology, not just stubbornness and wishful thinking.
You've probably heard these words thrown around. Let's make it simple. Tendinitis is the initial alarm bell. It's that fresh, new injury with inflammation. It's your body screaming, "Hey, stop!" Tendinopathy is what happens when you put tape over that alarm bell for weeks and just keep going. It's that chronic, disorganized damage we saw earlier. And here it is. This timeline is the nail in the coffin for that whole 36-hour myth. Look at these numbers. Yeah, the initial patch-up job starts within days, but for the tendon to fully heal, we're talking at least 6 weeks. And for it to fully remodel and get back to its original full-strength structure, you are looking at 6 months, maybe even longer. Biology does not care about your competition schedule.
So what do you do? The answer isn't just to sit on the couch and do nothing. That can actually make things worse. The key is to stop the specific thing that's causing the pain, but not to stop moving altogether. You have to unload the tendon, not abandon it. You switch to smart, targeted exercises that actually help it heal.
And the absolute gold standard for this kind of healing is something called an eccentric exercise. Let's use that bicep curl again. Lifting the weight up is the concentric phase. Muscle gets shorter. The eccentric phase, and this is the magic part for healing, is when you slowly and with full control lower the weight back down. The muscle is lengthening, but it's still under tension.
So why does this work so well? It's genius, really. That slow, controlled lengthening under load acts like a comb. It physically guides the new collagen fibers that your body is creating, forcing them to line up in that strong, organized parallel structure that we want. It's literally teaching the tendon how to rebuild itself correctly.
Okay, let's wrap all this up. The whole point here isn't to scare you away from training hard. It's to get you to train smarter so you can stay in the game and keep training hard for years and years to come.
So here's what you need to take away from this. Number 1, respect biology. Healing takes months, not hours. 2, stop doing what hurts. It's that simple. Find the specific movement and cut it out for a while. 3, introduce those slow, controlled, eccentric exercises to help the tissue rebuild properly. And last but definitely not least, if it's not getting better, stop guessing. Go see a physical therapist or a doctor and get a real diagnosis.
And at the end of the day, it really comes down to this one question. The choice is yours. Are you going to listen to your body and train smart? Or are you going to stick with that old myth and try to push through the pain? Because what you decide today is going to determine whether you're hitting new PRs 6 months from now, or if you're right back on that couch with an ice pack.